is going to be very brief for us to get to know their personalities a bit. So yeah, I'm going to do this. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start with, I'm going to pull the cards. I believe they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members. I believe there are 6 members. I'm going to pull one personality card for each, and then I'm going to pull one from the tarot. So yeah, let's see their energies. I'm going to start with one for Rio, one for Sion, one for Riku, one for Jaehee, one for Yushi, and the last one for Sakuya. Okay, let's see for NCT Wish. Let's get to know them. Okay. 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 I'm going to start with Rio. For Rio, we have the card of the archetype card. We have the archetype of the rebel. And we have the card of justice that says balance. So definitely for I believe for Rio, you know, probably he's like the rebel of the group. I don't know much about him, but it feels like he's someone that yeah, he goes with the group, he goes with the flow of the group, but sometimes he also does his own thing. You know, there's something about him just needing space and time to express himself. You know, he probably also I don't want to say like he doesn't follow orders or guidelines. I think that he just has a very different energy, different way of doing things, and he's like very much like, I feel like his energy runs away from me. Like he's very energetic, or he tends to go around here and there, and he can confuse you a bit. But I think that he's someone that he's like very open to new experiences. There's something about him, you know, not wanting to be stuck in a certain system. I think that there's something about his creative process being a bit of a no soul, a wise soul, and he doesn't believe in structures. You know, there's something about him. Also, he could be very social. There's something about him having the potential. I feel Libra energy. I don't know why. Libra, Aquarius. But he's very friendly. He's very friendly. I think that the more you give him time, the more he's going to open up and maybe build certain connections or relationships outside of his group. You know, there's something about Rio being this very open to new experiences, you know, and he probably, I think that there's something about this group potentially, being told or being, guided to like, okay, you guys have to stay together, or you guys have to be seen being together and doing this, and you do not separate, or you do this, but you do this together. And I think that he's like up for this. He's like, yeah, but at some point he gets bored and he's very curious. So he's like, I want to go and see what the other members are doing, what other groups are doing, because I'm so curious. And he's like a bit of he believes that in order for him to bring balance to the group, he has to go and reach out to other people, or maybe he's much more eager than the rest to go and talk to others. He's like, I want to talk to that member of the other group. I don't know much about him, but I think that he's very cool, somehow getting out of this you know I don't know if the others are more structured, or they are more like they're more shy. There's something about them being like, no, you go, I will stay here. I don't want to cause a mess, I don't want to talk. There's people that are like, I don't want to talk. And he's like, but you have to be curious about them, like, and probably he's the one that he will go around the SM building and be like, I want to see what is in here. But he's so curious, and he's a rebel. He will rebel. If he has a certain specific role in the group, you are going to see him outgrow that. He's not going to stay in that energy. He's going to change. Rio is going to change. But at the same time, he brings balance to the group. I think that there's something just very he's someone that he doesn't forget about his group. He's not like someone that will go to talk to others and will forget that he's part of NCT Wish. No, he will go back to the group. It's just that there's a need in him that he's like, I need to be social. I need to reach out to others. I need to do network. I don't know. I need to go. I cannot, it feels like he's like, tackling his speed. He's like very like, like his eyes get all like sparkly. He gets very motivated when it comes to building relationships, and he's so excited when someone maybe of other NCT units, when they pick him, or when they try to reach out to him, or when they talk to him, even when they say hi to him, he's like so eager to engage with them. It's just that maybe there's I feel it in me, like they have very strict instructions of not separating. I don't know if it's because they're very young or what, but it's like, you guys have to be seen together. Don't get too social and just we will lose you, because he probably gets a bit distracted and he will just end up in another corner talking to strangers, because he is like this. He's a rebel at heart. But he's very balanced. The same curiosity that he brings for outsiders. Also, I think that he's curious about other people's ethnicity, other people's culture. He's very curious. He wants to learn. But the justice is like, I have to bring this, because otherwise the other guys don't want to socialize. So I have to do something about this, because otherwise we'd all be shy and awkward together. And I want to go, and I want to break the mold. In the case of Sion, wait guys, that I have to write down the names. He is a Leo with either Taurus or Gemini moon. Sounds like Gemini based on yes, it sounds like Gemini. Yeah, it sounds like Gemini, like so energetic. He cannot stay still. Okay. Let's see Sion. I believe Sion is the leader. Okay, Sion. For Sion, we have Beggar. Beggar, and we have the Two of Cups. Partnership. So I think that for Sion is... why do I feel like he's such a Pisces? And I know he's not a Pisces, but it feels like, I live for the others. He's a very humanitarian kind of person. I think that he's not individualistic at all. He doesn't know how to be individualistic. He probably is, I don't know why I feel pity for him all of a sudden. I don't know why. I feel like he tries really hard to be liked by everyone. I think that with the beggar archetype, I'm like, I see him just being so nice and so polite and being like, hello, and smiling all the time and just being so pleasant and just wanting to connect. He wants to connect with people. And probably he's very sensitive also. This is why I'm like, he gives me Pisces vibe. Like, why? Um, I know he's not a Pisces, but anyways, with the kind of partnership, the Two of Cups also is like he is the kind of, if he's the leader, he's going to rule with a lot of empathy. He's going to be an empathic leader. He's going to be very sweet, he's going to listen to his members. He's going to do everything for the members. And with the beggar archetype, I think that there's something about him, having to be a leader, but he cannot be strict. He's the kind of leader that he will be like, please, can you do this for me? Please, yes, thank you. Like so polite, like so sweet, so, so, I don't know, so understanding. I think that, I don't know why, I'm like, I want to give him a hug because he's doing his best to be liked by people. He's very emotional. He's a very emotional person. There's something about him, he really gets his validation, for, I would say, for, getting a good feedback from the others. He's a bit, dependent. I would say he is a bit of dependent on what the others say. He's like trying to be like the good guy. He's trying to be liked by others. He's like, I depend on the others, so I want them to think the best of me. But it's just that maybe it can come up a bit like he's trying too hard to be liked. With the beggar, there's something about maybe in this point in his life he feels a bit like he has to work extra hard to be recognized or to be validated or to be seen even. I think that he will struggle a bit with being an authority. Maybe he has to, tell the guy something in a very, authoritarian way. He doesn't know how to. So this will get him a bit frustrated because he wants to be at peace with everyone, and this cannot be. This cannot be. So I think that partnership, relationships, also his group dynamic is affecting him very much. He's someone that he's like literally begging the other. I don't know why he's like begging the other children to behave, and he's like, please guys, do your best. Please, don't make a mess. But him being with this soft, motherly kind of voice, he still doesn't have that strong structure. He's trying his best to be polite. He's trying his best to not cause a stress or a bad environment for the others. He feels very responsible. He feels very emotional. He maybe neglects a bit his own needs, but it's just that I don't know what they told him when they made him the leader. That he feels like, this is a very important role for him, but at the same time maybe he's like, I have the responsibility of treating them well, of making them feel seen, feel listened to. I have to be empathic. I have to be there for them. I have to pay extra attention to them as if they were my babies. And even though he is a baby himself, he is also someone that is inexperienced in relationships. But with the Two of Cups, it feels like he needs to be emotionally involved in this group. He cannot be detached. He cannot be authoritarian. He has to get to know each member deeply, very profoundly. He has to get to their hearts, their minds. He has to inspect every member's emotion and feelings and perceptions very well, because he doesn't want to misunderstand them. There's something about him like, I have to study them very well because some of them don't communicate well. And this is not about language barrier. It's more like they don't tell me things. So I have to get deeper. This is why we have the beggar. I somehow have to beg them, guys, please, if you have a question, let me know. If there's something that you are not sure about, let me know. He has to beg for this connection. He's like, guys, always be confident, that you can come back to me, that you can tell me if there's something that you didn't like, there's something that you didn't see or you didn't understand, please talk to me. I'm here for this. But he has to say it in a soft way. I don't know if it's to not scare the other children, but he has to be soft. This is why he feels like he's always like, please, thank you, very, very polite. Sion double Taurus with a bunch of Gemini placement, but has a lot of Neptune horoscope, so makes sense you're getting Pisces. Difficult boundaries. Very sweet, very sweet. But it's, I mean, I like it that he values the members. He's like, this is my style. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to talk to them very tenderly. I'm going to talk to them with love and appreciation and respect. So I love it because he's a child himself. So him having this level of awareness, congratulations to him. He's so wise. Okay, I'm going to continue with Riku. Yeah, with Riku got the archetype of the queen archetype, and he got the Knight of Cups. So what is going on with Riku? He's stealing everyone's hearts. Is he really that charming? The keyword in here is charm. Is he really that charming? I don't know about him. But, there's something with, Riku's energy, just also feeling very watery, but also very like, I'm in the spotlight. I'm a queen. Pay attention to me. He's very attractive. He loves the attention, even though he's charming and he's sweet and he's sensitive, but he's like, if you put me in the spotlight, I'm going to shine. I'm going to be amazing. He loves to be appreciated. He loves people to telling him, good things about his appearance or the way he is. He probably acts a bit like, oh no, thank you, I'm not like this. But I think that he definitely values queen behavior. Or I wonder, queen treatment, not behavior. I wonder if there's people that I wonder if there's people that really treat him like royalty. Like there's something about him melting people's hearts. There's something about him just getting people's attention and people treating him like royalty. Really, people being under a spell for him. He has something that is like, he doesn't have to do much to seduce people or to get people to do what he wants. There's something about people giving him the special treatment without him actually doing much. He's just there, he exists, and he's just so attractive, and he's so people love him. Probably he doesn't, he could it be that he has a bit of pride or an attitude that is a bit, I don't want to say cocky, but there's something about him loving himself very much, and somehow people catching that and being like, I want to be next to you, or you're so cute, I want to give you my attention because you are amazing, and him be like, I know, I'm amazing, I'm a queen, yeah, give me all your love and attention, I love it, and I don't know, I think that he's just so cute, his energy feels very, very cute. But yeah, with Knight of Cups, I think that also his charm, if it still is something that you are slowly starting to see of him, is going to develop with time. It feels like he's a very Venusian kind of person, like he's giving me Leo. I don't want to be that obvious with the Leo archetype because we do have the card Queen. But I wonder if he has a strong Leo placements, because he definitely has like an attitude that you're like, this guy really loves himself. really loves himself. You know, he doesn't take crumbs. You know, he wants your whole attention, and he wants to be famous. You know, there's something about him like, yeah, I deserve to be here. I deserve the spotlight. Love me. And I think that the more the as he gets older and more like accustomed to the spotlight, he's going to develop a specific charm. You know, maybe now you don't see it very much, but eventually he can become like, I don't know if he's like the center, the visual, but he could become that. He could become that. He has this very, you know, he's very eye-catching. Oh, there's something that he suits. Maybe he doesn't do anything, but he's such a queen behavior. He's like he receives compliments left and right, and he doesn't do anything actually. He's just be himself, and people love him. People love him, or they offer to give him things or pamper him or compliment him, and he's like, oh yes, thank you. He looks very humble also, but inside of him, there's this confidence that is boiling inside of him. He's like sort of starting to embrace that. I kind of like it when people treat me like a queen. I feel special. I like it. Mm. Ah, Cancer Sun, Gemini Moon, and Venus conjunct his moon. Very feminine. Yes, very feminine. Oh, a lot of Gemini Moon in this group. Yeah, talking about Gemini, we have a Jaehee. Jaehee. Wait. We have Jaehee. Wait. Yeah. Jaehee. He is the Gemini of the group, I believe. I don't know. I know there was a Gemini, but I don't know if he's the Korean member. Because I see his name and I'm like, he must be a Korean member. Okay, he got the archetype of the wounded child. Wounded child, poor kid. Why this archetype, wooden child? But we have the King of Pentacles as well. This is wealth. So somehow it's like, yeah, don't buy too much the wounded child archetype, because actually he's very wealthy. Or he's going to be very wealthy. Or he's going to build like a very wealthy, stable, a career, status. He's very stable. Even though he could be a Gemini, he feels very stable. I feel him very mature, very experienced, very serious. Like he's serious about his career, or he's serious about his role in the group. I don't know if he's like the oldest, but it feels, it feels important. It's just that, yeah, maybe with Wooden Child, there could be something about, maybe initially people see him like this very like unprotected child. I know they're all children, literally, they're all very young, but maybe people see him like this, with this archetype, that somehow maybe people feel sad for him at some point, or they feel him like, he's not validated enough, or they feel like they need to protect him. Or there's something about his vibe that people are like, oh, he mustn't have it easy. I'm sure he had a tough childhood or something like this. Like, I don't know, maybe he said something, like there's like a wound in his, why is giving me Capricorn energy? Like, the kid that had a very tough childhood, and he had to become mature all of a sudden. He had to become like, the big brother, or he had to become, mature beside, very fast, and he didn't enjoy his childhood very much. I don't know why. I don't think that he is like this, but there's something with the wooden child that people feel sorry for him. And I wonder why. They feel like maybe he had been, that, life is challenging for him, or that he looks sad. Could it be that people think that he looks sad? that he looks like, oh my, like he needs a hug or he needs us to support him because it feels like, life is tough for him. But actually, he has the potential of being a king of pentacles. So I think that he's very ambitious inside of himself. I wonder if he's a Capricorn moon because it feels like he's very ambitious. Yeah, he could maybe there could be elements of him looking soft, and I don't know why I want to say like unprotected, like people don't protect him or people don't think about him, and him looking a bit lost maybe in the group. Maybe there's something about the dynamic of the group that you're like, there's something about that guy that I feel like he's lost in there, or that no one assists him or no one pays attention. I don't know, but it feels like a projection all the way. Or maybe, maybe he has a character. Maybe he has like a sort of, a persona that he was like, okay, you are going to be the sad guy in the group. Or you're going to be like, like the one with the sad story. Because, they could do that. But we have the king of pentacles. So I'm like, is he rich? Is his family rich? Like, is there like a rich background in here? Because I see him accumulating a lot of wealth. Actually, he's a very expensive person. Or if he's not, his goal in this group is to be, is to earn a lot of money. With his talent, with his presence. There's something about his value in the group that I think that he's like the most mature one. So I think that people shouldn't feel sorry for him. He's not wounded. He's actually a very capable person. He's very strong. I feel him very steady, very like in his body. I feel him very like secure, probably a bit stubborn. There's something about him being like, don't move me. I will get there eventually, but let me be. I will do it when the time is right. He has a lot of potential. But yeah, he's very mature. He's very mature. A king of pentacles is someone that they know what to do and they're very confident. So he can be like an anchor to the group, a sort of safety of the group, because he feels very stable. I feel him very mature, very like, it's just that, maybe he has a face or a something that people are like, oh, he looks like he's lost. Like, why do I feel like people think that he's like he's an orphan, like he's lost in there, like someone tossed him in there and they're like, don't come back until you become famous, and he doesn't have that side of the story actually. But yeah, watch him because this king of pentacles, is going to become very popular, very productive, also very productive member. Maybe he had a hiatus or something like this and people feel sorry. Could it be, sometimes people get in their feelings. Yes. Yeah, it feels more like this. Yeah. Yeah, but he has potential. Actually, I like it. I like it. So yeah, don't sleep on that man because he has potential of growing, expanding, and just also sustaining this level of maturity, endurance, and also him creating a lot of wealth for himself and others. So yeah, don't sleep on his potential. He's not that wounded child. I don't know why people think like, oh, he's wounded, we have to save him. Like, no, maybe he has a face that people are like, oh, he looks sad. I don't know. Please don't see him like this. He's actually a very stable person, very hardworking also. Yes. Yeah, I understand, Fluffy. Yeah, it makes more sense. I mean, this is what I'm picking. I don't know. Maybe then we can look at their birth charts, but I'm feeling this. Okay, I'm going to continue with Yushi. Yushi, with Yushi, we have the card of companion, and we have the death card. Let go, he says. It's giving me Libra. I know he's not a Libra, but it's giving me Libra with card of companion literally. Um, he has a lot of learn to do, a lot of evolution to do. He has the archetype of companion, so there's something about, you know, his personality or his archetype is being shown as someone that he needs of someone else in order to shine. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's um like him and another member always being stuck together like twins, or there's something about people also wanting, they don't want to leave him alone, you know, there's something about like, come here, come with us, you're gonna be there alone, like come here with us, you know, and don't be there alone. But with the death card, let go, is basically that, you know, his evolution maybe in the group or maybe his own evolution as a person is that he has to somehow, you know, get, o sea, separate himself from the companion archetype. He has to transform his energy and get more in the, it's not that it's not good for him to be someone's companion, it's just that maybe there's a potential of him shining more if he allows himself to be more individualistic, or if he embraces his own individuality instead of always being next to someone. Because I think that for a man, for a person like him, he can get like caught up, or he can lose himself while being others' companion. Like if, for example, if someone ship him, which, you know, the shipping culture in K-pop is normal, so if someone ship him with another member, if he invests in this, or if he stays in that energy, and he's always with that member, and there's always this narrative that probably is already built around him and another member, he will never be able to get out of this. He will always be considered like, oh, it's him and the other person. Oh, I ship him and the other person. And it's never about him. And I think that his individuality is pushing here. Like, you need to become your own character. You need to become your own protagonist. Like, on your own, you have a lot of attractiveness. This man, this child, because he's a child, for me, he's a child, but he has the potential of being in, maybe even a soloist, or a main artist. Like, there's something about him, you know, having to, maybe this will, he will learn with the years, but with the kind of let go, is like, you know, don't get comfortable with the idea of always be going hand in hand with another person. Also stand in your own individuality. Don't lose yourself in connections. Only then you are going to discover your own potential. And also people are going to start to appreciate him more, because he's going to be like, oh, there he goes, him. You know, this member, Yushi. Yushi, is it? Yeah, Yushi. This member, Yushi. See, but he has to, I think that probably with the card of let go, I think that, you know, also the death card is very drastic, and also is very aggressive. So probably this is going to take a while. Maybe this is a person that he has certain attachment issues, or he is very dependent on others. You know, maybe he feels he's a companion right now in his life because he feels safer like this. The other person is my safe space. This is why I go hand in hand with them. And I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. And people don't want to leave him alone neither. But somehow, with the card of death, there's a transformation in this archetype. He's not always going to stay like this. And I think that this is part of his development. He has a strong change coming at some point in NCT Wish. At some point, he's going to rebel, or he's going to transform, or he's going to change, and somehow he's going to be, I don't know, a soloist, or an actor, or he's going to be sent somewhere to do a solo activity, or a solo gig. And he's going to have to face this change. I mean, like, oh my God, like, I'm here without the members. What do I do? You know, I'm always a companion. I'm always next to this person. What do I do if I'm alone? You got this. It's part of your expansion. It's part of you getting to know who you are, because he has a lot of potential. He has a lot of potential. It's just that, sometimes getting stuck in this, only getting attached to the people that you know, or the members of your group, and not interacting with others. It's like, no, you have to get out. You have to get out and get to know people. Talk to them. Introduce yourself to them. Very nice. Oh, I want to write free. Yushi is Aries Sun Libra Moon. Why are the cards so obvious? I was like, I'm not going to say Libra because I see companion, but it was screaming to my face. It was screaming. It was screaming. Thank you. Thank you, Fluffy, for the astrological insight. Thank you so much. Because I don't know. I just wrote down the names. Okay. I'm going to continue with the last one, with my baby, with my son. Sakuya has an 84 mom, so I'm an 85 liner, so I could be his mother, literally. But yeah, he's the magnet of the group. Let's see. He has the archetype of servant, and he has the 7 of Wands, defense. He's It's so tough to get to know Sakuya, and I think that he's someone that energetically he doesn't let you near. He's like, yeah, thank you. Yeah, don't come too near me. I don't like it. He doesn't like people in his space. He's like me, literally. like I don't like to be touched. I don't like you to invade my personal space. I'm like, it's not like I have something against a person, but my initial is like, yeah, just wave at me from afar. Don't touch me. Like, he's like this as well. He gets tense. He doesn't like it. He doesn't find it cute nor funny. He maybe smiles to the cameras because he's like, I guess I have to look friendly, but I don't like it. Just, keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me. I don't like it when you do that. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. He doesn't trust anyone, so it's not personal, but he's like, don't touch me. Thank you. With the archetype of servant, yeah, I think that the archetype of servant is very, maybe people are like, oh wow, what an archetype. But I think that, yeah, he's a member that, yeah, because he's the magnet, but he's a very helpful magnet, literally. With the archetype of servant, he's there to serve. He's there to help the others. He's probably very pendant on what do you need? I'm going to go and get it for you. Or do you want this? I'm going to go and do this for you. And he wants to be of service. He wants to be helpful. He's always like paying attention to what the other needs. He probably is like, everyone is talking and he's like looking to the side if there's someone is struggling or someone needs to get something, and he's like, I will do it for you. And he gets up and he does it. He's very of service. I see him very much. That's his love language. But also I think that he's someone that he probably, the way he deals with anxiety, because maybe he's a bit, he's a child, of course. This is why when we have the card of the 7 Wands, defense, is because he's a child, and somehow he's in the industry and he's, seeing all these people and everyone is coming to him and trying to, being cute with him, and he's like, yeah, but I don't know you. It's tough. He's not that, he's not that affectionate as well. It's like he has to feel safe. in order for him to show a bit of affection. And he probably, when he does it, it's, him being, by himself. He doesn't want to show vulnerability on camera or on the stage. It's his decision to be like this. He has a lot of boundaries. He has a lot of boundaries, and he tries his best to not look that rigid, but definitely he's someone that he's on the fence, and I don't think that you are going to change him. Actually, I think that he's going to become much more assertive about boundaries in time, especially when he gets older. He's going to be known for being that member that, yeah, he's the magnet, but don't touch him. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it when you're all around him, like in his face, touching his face, or he's like, I don't like it, stop it, don't touch me. And he probably is bearing it because it's like, okay, people are watching, I'm being recorded, this is on camera, but he's like, I don't like it. And in the Seven of Wands also is a very masculine card. Is a card of direction, is a card of energy. He is someone that his boundaries are coming from his masculine self, not so much from like, oh, it's because I'm a baby and I'm not used to being around strangers. No, it's like him asserting his own masculinity. He doesn't want to. He probably doesn't like to be babied as well. He's like this, but at the same time, with the archetype of servant. And I know that he loves color pink. So seeing that his cards are all pink colored, I'm like, oh, this is for him. But also with the card of servant, I think that he can give in a bit for the audience. It's like at the end, he's like, okay, I'm a server for the people. So yeah, whatever they need of me, I'm going to give it to them. I'm devoted to the group. I'm devoted to the group. I'm devoted to my members. So whatever they need of me, I'm going to do it. Even though I have my resistances, even though there's certain parts of Sakuya that you will never see, even though you're so curious and you're like, oh, I cannot wait for him to talk, I don't know, more and tell us more about his life and what he likes and what he doesn't like. And he's like deciding that no, because probably there's something about him being like, at some point he's going to give that change where he's going to turn into a man, and it's going to be a very different side of him. He wants to dominate more, probably the scene. He wants to dominate more in the concepts. He wants to be seen more masculine. So it's like you will not get the baby Sakuya for a very long time. I think that this is about to change at some point, maybe from here to 2 years. You're going to see Sakuya do a flip in his image, and you're not going to see the pink anymore. But yeah, from now he's like running, trying to please everyone and make sure that everything is in order. He could have a bit of OCD. I'm like, I could see him like just cleaning somewhere because he's a bit nervous, so he doesn't know how to collaborate or what to do. So he could instantly just be cleaning spaces or arranging things, just because he needs to be busy. There's something about his nature that he's like, if I'm busy, I don't think that much. I don't think that much. But he all the time he's on the defense, and he's trying to be soft. I think that he's like, I'm trying to give the audience what they want of me, but at some point you're going to start to see it, that actually he's not. He's a very masculine guy. I think that from all the members, he's the most assertive one. So wait for him. Wait for him. He's not that baby. He's not that pink. He's going to transform himself. Right now, he's delivering to you guys what you want. He's being pleasant. He's being, understanding. He's being of service. He's like, okay, you guys want this of me. I'm going to be your baby. But then, this is not going to last that long. It's going to change. Mm. Uh, he He has Moon Uranus conjunction. I don't know why I thought that people told me that he was a moon in Aquarius, but I don't know. Oh, I have that. I'm quite selective about touching in private space as well. He also has a Venus Uranus trine, but it's not the square like you, which shows more strongly. Ah, okay. He also has Moon Saturn opposition, which is more rigid, like you said. Interesting. Maybe as a Pisces moon, he has to do that to protect energy too, because of the sensitivity. Yes. And also, he's such a giver, with the servant archetype. I think that he was taught this is not about a characteristic that is going to last, because somehow he was taught in his household to always be of service, to always help others, help others clear things, help always, arrange everything, make everyone feel comfortable, always be useful, don't stand there just not doing anything. He's a very useful person. There's something about the house, cleaning the house, cleaning your environment, ordering things. This is very important in his lifestyle. He is built like this. He probably knows more about, cleaning a house than all the other members. But there's something about him being on the fence about this. He's like, guys, for a quite few years, I'm going to give you this image, but then I'm going to change. Then I'm going to enter into my masculinity. Mm. Mm-hmm. Aries would make sense, ruled by a Cancer Mars, very protective shell, and he'd have his sun in the 8th house as well, secretive but strong. Yeah,